Now that we are familiar with the Power Platform, let us move closer to the main topic of today's session. Part of it is Dataverse for Teams. Dataverse for Teams is a powerful database capability now available in Teams with your existing Teams license. As I said, existing Teams license. We'll talk about licenses later on, but keep that in mind. It doesn't cost anything extra. That's why it is a stripped down version of full Dataverse, which means it's like a baby Dataverse or like a lighter version of Dataverse. Formerly known also as the Common Data Service, which is the back end for the most demanding Microsoft Business applications, including Dynamics 365, which processes massive amounts of mission-critical data to the cloud every day for companies around the world. Dataverse for Teams takes the core capabilities of that platform and makes it a fully embedded feature and function of Teams. This allows you to build relational databases within Teams and also unlocks other features to build apps, bots, and workflows within Teams without leaving it. Let's take a look on some different data types. The data types available in Dataverse for Teams are a subset of the types available in Dataverse. So there are not all the types of columns available in Dataverse for Teams that are also in Dataverse. So you can work with a range of data types, including auto number, date, decimal, lookup, and so on. So the most important columns, column types are still there for you to use. And the big part or the great part of this tool is that Dataverse for Teams is a true relational database. With a lookup field, you can easily create relationships and connect to another table. This is then a foundation upon which to store the business data and build connected apps for Teams. Let us take a look at Power BI for Teams. Power BI app for Teams. It brings all the capabilities of PowerBI.com into Microsoft Teams. It's the same as we are familiar from PowerBI.com, just being in Microsoft Teams as an embedded application. You can view reports, apps, and dashboards. You can create things if you like, manage content in workspaces, give permissions, and build and share applications. It helps you get access to your data in a single place. Here, you are already collaborating, where you are already collaborating. Microsoft Teams is all about collaboration. Within the Power BI application, as you can see on the screenshot in Teams, it is very easy to share reports and dashboards. Your colleagues will receive a rich preview card, making it easy to open the right report. Okay, I think, you made it. The slides are finally over. Now let's take a look how all this stuff works. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick so that I can switch from the presentation. Okay, can you see my screen again?
Yes, your Microsoft Teams.
Very well. Okay, so first I'm going to install, or I'm going to add the two applications that are needed for our demonstration. What I'll go is here at the apps section and click that away. Here we can search for Power Apps with a space, of course. And after clicking on that, you can say here add. And this is going to add now Power Apps as an application in my Teams client. And we can see it here on the left-hand side. What you can do from here is you can right-click it and say pin. So this way, this application is always there, even if we switch, or it should be there. Let me try that again. Apps. It sometimes takes 2 tries. Right-click, pin. Okay, now it sticks there. As you can see, when moving to other sections of Microsoft Teams, Power Apps is still there. Okay, and we need another application called Power BI. So I'm going to search for Power BI. There it is. I'm going to add that as well. And as you can see, we have now the full Power BI experience that we are familiar in Power BI, the website inside our Teams. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to pin that. I'm going to try again to be sure. And now it says unpin. I don't know why it takes twice, but who knows? Maybe someone from Microsoft sees this and fixes. Okay, so we have now Power BI and Power Apps as an application inside our teams. To visualize the data in Microsoft Dataverse, we need to create a Dataverse table or 2 or 3 and get some data in there. To do so, we need to go into our Power Apps application. And then we have here 3 tabs. We have the Home tab, we have a Build tab, and an About tab. The Home app is where you can start learning, where you can start with already, from Microsoft. There's a problem reaching this app. Okay, let's retry that. Okay. As I was saying, from the Home tab, you can start here with pre-built applications. These are templates from Microsoft, and here's a lot for you to go learn about how you can build your applications inside of Microsoft Teams. I'm going to go to the Build tab, and from here, when it has loaded, I can select a team. And I will stick in the Contoso marketing team. And here we can see built by this team. These are applications that have been already built here. And these are installed applications, data flows, which is in preview. And we can see here what is happening in this team. Let us take a look on another team. I think this is better because here are already some applications. And let's build it in this team so that it's a bit easier to see, since here hasn't built anything yet. Okay, we can go here and say new, and we can select either app, chatbot, or a card. I'm going to select an app. We're not going to build a Power App today. I just find it easier to go into the Power Apps creator and then create the tables. You can also do it without that, but later on, if you want to build an application, because somehow you need to put that data in there, it's already there. No? So we just continue then with the application. Let's call this demo app. Doesn't matter actually. Select save. Now it's saving the application. Okay, and as you can see, we have the very familiar Power Apps, for you at least who know Power Apps, editor inside our Microsoft Teams. So the only difference here is that in the data section, we can select here the create new table, which is also in the normal Power Apps. And after clicking that, we can create here a new Power Apps table, which is then stored in Dataverse. And I've prepared here 3 tables that I want to create. Okay, so this one will be the table called requests. Requests. Select create. And as you can see here, we have now a Dataverse table inside our Power Apps. And it comes with a primary key, of course. No? In this case, it's called name. And I'm going to create here. There are also a couple of columns which are standard. No? We are familiar with these columns from SharePoint as well. Name in SharePoint is usually the title. No? It's mandatory. That's why it's this star over there. Then we have created on, modified, modified on, and the owner. These are also in SharePoint columns. We're going to ignore those. I'm going to select new column. This will open this pane on the right-hand side, and I'm going to write here the display name, which is request number. This is my column, and this will be an auto number, which means this will count the numbers by itself. It's similar like the ID column in SharePoint lists. And minimum number of digits, we can leave it at 4, and we can say here it starts by 1, so it starts 001. I'll select save, and shortly after I should have a new column here. Okay, I need another column. This will be my approval status. Okay, this will be a choice column, and here we can select if it's a yes/no column or a choice column. And here I think it's a bit complicated, but yeah, let's see. We can say here a new choice. It's not that intuitive, I think, how they've been made in this. It used to be better. So the display name of this column will be approval of these choices, approval status. And we can write here the different statuses. Let's take a green one for approved. Approved. Grab another one, which would be a red one for declined. Select save. And now that we have created that choice or those choices, we need to sync these choices. So we need to find them here, which are called approval status. And we can see here we have two options, approved and declined. Now we can save this. Our options are here as well. Okay. Okay, now this is there. Let's grab another column called comments. And this will be text column, and we can have it in rich text or text area. Now it'll be a bit bigger. Select save. Okay, so this is now our first table. If you close it, we'll see that Power Apps will add this table. Let's hope it. Yeah, there it is. It will add the table into our Power App. And so later on, we can use this table inside our Power Apps. So I'm going to create another table. This will be called the assets table or categories, assets categories. Select create. And this has now, again, the name column. And here I'm going to enter some data. So what I imagine is we have an application later on, not today, but later on, where we are going to order like office assets. Like I want to order a new monitor, a new chair, a new desk, headset, and so on and so forth. And so we have the assets and the assets categories. So assets categories will be chair, and we can directly write into the table, which is pretty cool. So it's chair, it's a desk, it's then headphones. Then we have what else? Let's write monitor, and that should be enough for now. Okay, so this is our assets categories table. Let's close that. And now this will be added as well into our application, and it is also in our Dataverse environment. Last, I will add another table, which is called assets. So create, and this now will contain a lookup, which is called category, a lookup. And the related table is the one called assets categories. Save. So what this does is it shows me the options that I just created on another table. Let's grab another column, call this price. This will be a number column, but not a whole number. We can select here different options, and I'm going to select decimal. Select save. And we have here the category and the price. And yeah, let's stick with it for now. I mean, it doesn't matter that much what how the data looks like or how it is built or what data we have inside. It's more of how it works, how you can build it, and how we can then integrate into Power BI for teams. So this will trigger your imagination, and you can then go on and create this for your use case, of course. So what I don't want to do here is to copy some data, and I want here to write so that we have some data here. Let's have that one. That will be monitor, and the price will be 1021. So imagine this data is being put inside inside via the application. Let me copy a couple of other here rows. That's also a chair. And that's cost 115. Another monitor. We have 1 or 2 desks as well. $50. Let me take a look if somebody has a question because I cannot see it right now. Okay.
No question, no question.
Okay, thanks. Okay, that's also a desk.
Interesting.
And let's give it another price of, I don't know, 350, and should be okay for now. Okay, let's select close. Okay, so in the request table, we can say here edit data. And now that we have that asset category, let's add it here as well. So this will be a lookup, and we'll call it asset category as well. And this will look into the asset categories. So this is the request. So when the user will create a new request, they will enter their name, their request number will be automatically generated. The approval status, you can imagine it having like an approval process as well. And the user can also add some comments, and they can select here which category they want to order. And yeah, we can also have here the assets, of course, because they can select the category and also then an asset. This will also be a lookup into the assets. So, and we can now, yeah, let's think about it like we are doing this from application, but actually we're entering the data here. So Enea, myself, now it's auto numbering here is requesting a chair. And normally when you build this in the application, you will do the cascading dropdowns, which then will filter these assets based on the category. Now, in this case, it's not that way because it's in the database now. But yeah, chair, I'm going to select. No, that's a desk. I see. I already did it wrong. I get that one. And we have then Max, another person will request a desk. That will be standing desk. We have then Megan requesting headphones. Do we have any headphones here? No. Then she will request a monitor. Curved one. And I will do one last one. Martin, monitor, let's say again a chair. Ergonomic chair. And they're writing some comments, which I'm not going to do now. And after the application has saved this data, a Power Automate workflow, which you can also build inside of Teams, of course, will trigger. And then this will go to the manager. And based on that price that we have put there, the manager then will run an approval status. Huh? So let's say that happened. Now we have here approved. Let's do this randomly. Declined, approved, declined. Huh? That's how it happened. The imagination, and let's close it. Okay, so the data has now refreshed, and we have this information in our Dataverse. Huh? So I'm going to close this now and go to Power BI so that we can create a new workspace. because we can also do that from Microsoft Teams as well. So here are our workspaces. There are a couple of them as well already. And here we can create a new workspace. Let's call this demo showcase and select save. And we already have our workspace. And let's see here, we can give access as well. We can enter here an email, for example, Megan. We have here Megan. And we can say if she is an admin, member, contributor, viewer, and so on and so forth. No, I will make her a member because she can also she should also be able to edit the reports, and I will add her in here. I'm going to close this, and now I have shared this workspace with Megan. Okay, how do we bring now the data from those tables that we just created? To do that, we have to go back to Power Apps, no, inside the application. So I'm going to close this, go to the Home tab. And after this loads, we should be, yes, as we see here, we have our tables that we created 8 minutes ago and so on. And let's take a look how that's inside. And as you can see here, we have these requests, and we can create here our views. Now we have here our columns, approval status, asset category, comments was empty anyways, request number, and let's save it. And these are the information that we put into this table inside of Power Apps. So now we are in this, looks like a solution, and we can see the tables that are in there. This is our request table. And what we can do here is we can either create a new column, we can edit the relationships, we can create new views. And it's very familiar to each one of you who has already worked with the Dataverse before. So what we can do here as well is we can edit this, or we can edit this data in Excel. Why not? And what we want to do is we want to go back, and instead of going into one of these tables, I'm going to select here See All. So this now will show everything that's in the solution, and we are here in the Tables tab. And if we go here to Export, keep in mind that you don't have to be inside of a table. You need to be on the Tables tab. And here you can say Export. No? This now will open Microsoft Power BI. It says here Analyze in Power BI. Or it will download the file first, and then we have to open it. So it looks like it's downloaded. So I'm going to go now to my downloads and see. That one should be the one. Yeah. So I'm going to double click that. And now it's launching Power BI. Takes a while. And as you can see, it's already trying to connect to my organizational account for the Dynamics with the Dynamics connector. It says here Common Data Service, still called there like that. And let me show you real quick how the download looks like. You get like an encoded name for that file. So it should be easy to find. It's in the downloads. And it immediately tries to connect to the Common Data Service. You need to sign in first. I will do that now. And I'm going to use, that's none of the accounts I want to use. 1 second. That's the account I want to use. And the password. And now it has connected. I'll say connect. And this will now launch the navigator that we are familiar with in Power BI. Give it a second. Still connecting. Okay, looks like it went through and the navigator has launched. And now we need to search for our tables. Now there are a lot of tables here, but ours were called assets and assets categories. And the other one was requests. I'm going to select these three and I'm going to say then transform data. We're not going to do anything complex or anything wild in Power BI because I just want to show you how you can, how you can use Dataverse for Teams and Power BI. So how you can visualize that data. And I'm just going to do a quick cleanup of the tables and put like a small visualization on the screen just that we can see the data that we have in that in those tables. And that's it. From there on, you can continue yourself. So I'm going to search. As you can see here, we have a lot of columns, 45 columns to be precise. And what I would like to keep is, let's scroll to the right. We have here the name of that asset, the category. No, that's the code, the category name, and the price. That's the columns I want to keep. And I will remove our columns. So I have these three now. This is my assets table. Let's do the same for the assets categories. Scroll to the right. Let them. We have here the name. Did I miss the rest? Oh yeah, it was only one column. So keep in mind, I'm going to remove now other columns, but if you want to create a relationship between them, we should keep the IDs and so on. But as I said, I don't want to deep dive that much into the the analytics. Okay, last but not least, requests. So here we need a couple more. We need, let's go to the right. We have here the name of the requester, request number, the approval status, which is coded in a code here, but we can fix that in a second. And we have here the asset category name and the asset name. I think that's enough. I'm going to remove other columns. And this one here is a number column. Before fixing it, I will change it to a text. And then I will copy this one. Because if you remember, the requests, take a look. We had here approved, declined, declined, approved, approved, declined. What did I say? Approved, declined, declined, approved. So Enea was approved. I'm pretty sure we can find the name of that choice, but I'm not going to bother now to find that since the time is running up. So I'm just going to replace the values. No? So I see now that Enea myself here has an approved one. So the 000 at the end is the approved one and the one at the end is the declined one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this value and I'm going to say replace values. That value, please replace it with approved and replace the other value with declined. Now, so quick and dirty, we have that column fixed. So this one is the name. This one is the request number and approval status. We have here the asset category name. And the asset name. Okay. This is our requests table. This is our assets categories table. Rename that to name as well. And this one also needs to be named, name, category name, and that's the price. Okay. I'm going to close and apply. So now we can see on the right-hand side the tables. But yeah, so this is then how we can work with this data, or how we can connect the data to Power BI at least. Now that's what was the topic of this presentation. Yeah, so that was the demo part. So let's take a look on the licensing options. No? So as I said, Dataverse for Teams is included at no additional cost for Microsoft Teams customers. No? So you can add Dataverse for Teams to any team, and it supports a very high volume of records. No? I think 1 million for each team out of the box, no? Which is very, very useful, and you can you can make applications of many types with that amount of data. You can use the apps, chatbots, and automations backed by the Dataverse, and for Teams, which is embedded in Teams, of course. No? And yeah, if you want to have the full power of Microsoft Dataverse, then you can upgrade to a standalone Power Apps, Power Automate, or Virtual Agents license, where you then have the full capacity and all the role-based access control and extensive business logic and so on and so forth, no? Which is much more powerful, of course. But then that can be used for more business critical solutions in your company, of course.